Hello there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I do a series of videos called UFO Legends, and I do this because there are people who have gone above and beyond the regular call of duty, as it were, to illuminate an area of humanity that is, for the most part, still in the dark. And I'm talking about UFO legends. These legends, these people risk their careers, they risk ridicule, they risk they risk their livelihoods to put out stories and information that escapes the mainstream media. Most mainstream media outlets will scoff at a UFO story or an alien abduction story or whatever. Well, these these UFO legends bucked the odds and became famous for doing this. Years ago, Art Bell created Coast to Coast AM, which is the premier paranormal talk radio program. It was on overnights and ostensibly started out, I think, as I recall, most truck drivers listened to him, that kind of thing. But it branched out and other people became interested and people started calling in and it became very big. Well, George Knapp hosted the show when Art Bell was off, usually on weekends and things like that. George T. Knapp was born April 18th, 1953. He was born in Woodbury, New Jersey. He was a longtime fixture in the Las Vegas media. He moved to Las Vegas in the early 1980s. He worked as a cab driver before becoming an intern at PBS and then later a news reporter at PBS. Then he became a reporter and a news anchor at KLAS. Now, here's where his career took a significant turn. In the late 1980s, he reported the story of Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar had made many, many fantastic claims, including working on UFOs at Area 51, a lot of weird claims. And most people who heard that story scoffed because they were pretty fantastic. George Knapp took it upon himself to report this story. And then, as I understand it, he took an 8-month crash course where he read everything he could on UFOs. Just submerged himself in everything UFO. He later on discovered evidence which corroborated some of Bob Lazar's claims, which gave both of them a bit more credibility in the UFO community. There was a lot of UFO people who didn't understand Bob Lazar either. They didn't believe him. They thought he was trying to make a buck or, trying to get his 15 minutes of fame or whatever. Well, guess what? His 15 minutes of fame has lasted a damn long time, because the more you learn about what as time goes on, more of the stuff that he reported on that Bob Lazar claimed is bearing fruit. For example, he claimed to have worked with an unknown element from our periodic table, but it's not on our periodic table. Well, it turns out now they've discovered element 115, which is pretty much exactly what Bob Lazar claimed, but now they're putting it on the periodic table. So that's corroboration in my book. I don't care who you are. George Knapp became a staple in the UFO community, paranormal communities. He's done a lot of great work on UFOs, UFO abductions. He still hosts Coast to Coast from time to time. He's done a lot of work at the Skinwalker Ranch. I've done videos on that. He's won many awards, including the Edward R. Murrow Award in 2004 for a story about voter fraud in Clark County, Nevada, and dozens of Pacific Southwest regional awards. And for those of you who are critter lovers, animal lovers out there, yes, he does work in animal welfare. So he's kind of an all-around guy. But when it comes to reporting stuff that a lot of other people scoff at in the UFO world, the UFO phenomena, he's at the forefront. And he's still at the forefront. He's still out there making movies, making documentaries, writing books, interviewing people, going public with information. He's still out there, and he's still doing his thing. And God bless him for it. Because now, the U.S. government, the Pentagon, the U.S. Navy, blah, 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 now they're coming out with more and more stuff that... I just did a video the other day where the Pentagon released papers where they were testing materials from downed UFOs. So, it's all coming out. And George Knapp is one of the reasons. I do a lot of UFO legend videos, and they're all in on it. George Knapp's one of the big ones. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.